Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I have a reaction video for you, and today we are reacting to one of my favorite people on the internet, and that is Miss Darcy. So Miss Darcy is a YouTuber. Obviously she does a lot of kind of it's beauty content, but it's not like super like intense. Like, it's really nice to watch. It's really like funny. It's a good time. It's a good time. I recently saw that she did a review of the Cosmetics cushion foundation. I did a full face of Cosmetics the other day. So what I wanted to do was react to that video. Now, she in no way claims to be a makeup artist or anything like that. If you haven't seen one of these reaction videos before, what I do is watch a video of somebody doing their makeup. Depending on who they are, depends on how I react. For somebody like Miss Darcy, who isn't claiming to be a makeup artist or isn't claiming to say that, you know, this is the best way to do something, I react as if she was my client, and what I would do to their eye shape, what I would do to their skin, to their lips, to, you know, different things like that. Just before getting to that stage, again, if this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. It's been my profession for the last 13 years. And it is my goal here on YouTube to help you become a pro yourself, or just someone who's really good at makeup. And sometimes that means separating what we see online versus what is actually realistic and works in real life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then please consider subscribing. Okay, so let's do it and let's watch Miss Darcy. Let's go.
Oh, gross. Me no likey.
Darcy!
Guys, what's up? It's your favorite bald-headed bitch back at it again with another video. Today I've got another review for you guys, so buckle up. Michelle Phan has her own cosmetics line called Cosmetics, and recently they came out with cushions for dark skin, so I really wanted to try them out because you guys know I'm always down to try a new cushion, and finding a cushion for dark skin is far and few between.
So cushion foundations, I believe, are a Korean concept. All the ones I have are Korean, and they just about fit my skin tone in winter. When I'm a little bit lighter, I tan very easily. I also untan very quickly. So it's very, very rare to find a cushion foundation that is for darker skin tones. And the good thing about cushion foundations is they're really natural on the skin. They're not full coverage. So if you have incredible skin, like Darcy does, and you don't want to cover everything, cushions are a really nice option, but they just aren't available. So the Cosmetics cushions are almost like a breakthrough, I guess. It's something that's been needed, so it's really great to see. Although it looks like the selection isn't great, they're almost like tinted foundations or tinted moisturizers where one shade can be for two or three different skin tones, if that makes sense.
And if you guys don't know who Michelle Phan is, though I don't know how you wouldn't know who Michelle Phan is, I don't know, maybe you're 12. But if you don't know who Michelle Phan is, she is the original beauty guru. So this is what the lightest one looks like. Cushions are always extremely deceiving in the pan. Like, I swear to God, I have seen K-beauty cushions that look like this, and then you touch it and it's like white.
Yeah, that's so true. Like I said earlier, I have some. I actually collect some of them because the packaging's really cute. Brands do like collaborations with like Disney and things like that. So there's been some, and I've looked at them and I was like, oh my God, a shade that's going to suit my skin tone exactly. But as she said, you touch them and they come out pure white.
I'm gonna do a quick swatch. Oh yeah, that's quite light. Again, this is warm dusk, significantly darker. Could potentially work, but might be a little too light. This feels like this already looks... That's gonna be too dark. That's too dark. This is the color Magic Dream. It's very red. I can see in the pan that it's very red. And it's actually not that dark, but it is very red. Whereas this one is very yellow. You can really see the difference. So I'm gonna try both of them and see which one I like.
So I'm looking at the two bottom swatches. For me, what I think will look really great on her, just by looking at these, is using the redder tone. See, I wouldn't even use the sponge that comes in with the pad because it's going to pick up a lot of colour. I would use like a very stubby brush, or just something, or even like a dense blending brush, and I would stipple that around the areas where color correction is needed slightly. So slightly round the sides of her mouth, under the eyes, warm it up very slightly, almost like a color corrector. Here's the thing, you know how I feel about color corrector. You do not need red or deep orange to color correct. It can just be a deeper concealer, a deeper foundation to help kind of even out skin tone. And then I'll use the yellower tone either in the middle of her face, or I'll tap it over the red or mix the two colors together. It's mixing.
Normally I wear primer, you guys know, but today I'm not gonna put on any primer because this claims to also...
I think that's a great idea, not just because the product claims to be a primer, but if you're familiar with cushions and the moisture level in cushions, depending on your skin type, me being oily, I personally wouldn't prep the skin too much on me, or maybe someone who's dry, because they are very hydrating. And if you prep too much, you're adding moisture, especially this cushion has a very high SPF. And so, I think it was 50 PA++++. So yeah, I personally wouldn't use primer either. I would moisturize as usual. If I was oily skin, I would use a serum to hydrate and then call it quits. If I was slightly drier, then I would use a slightly more nourishing moisturizer. Just because we're doing makeup, oily people, of course, still need to use hydrating products. But if we're prepping the skin for makeup, our goal is longevity in wear of that product. So I wouldn't prep it too much.
All right, so we're just gonna tap, tap, tap. That is a lot more coverage than I thought it was gonna be, but my skin literally looks perfect. Okay, if you look at the two sides, it is just a tad bit light, but seeing this...
You know what I would have done with those two shades, because one is slightly redder, and I would take that tone in the areas that are slightly deeper to level out the skin. Whether that means she goes on top now with the red in those areas to kind of warm it up a little bit more, or take a powder after this that has a slightly more red tone. That can be a bronzer, that can be something else, and use that as a face powder in those areas. It's trying to get that level of evenness. It's color correction. It's color correction, but not color correction where we think painting on the face. So that color looks great here on this inside area here, but around it would be nice to have a bit of warmth around the outside area. It's not drastic. It looks light, but it's not too drastic. Again, not her issue. This is the color she has to work with.
I can tell that the darker shades could be way too dark, but we're gonna put it on anyway. This is the color Magic Dream. Pat, pat, pat. Wait, how do they both match me? Hold on a second. Wait a second. No. Stop it. That makes no sense. This one?
I still think that looks slightly red. It's an okay match, but it is still red compared to her undertone. Again, I would maybe, looking at that color now, I maybe would have applied that first and then mixed in a little bit of a yellow. But it's not terrible.
That's also the thing about tints, right? Is that since it's not super full coverage, I don't have to worry about having a perfect match. But which one do you guys like better? This one's just too red for me. I don't know. But this one's like definitely a little too light. But being too light is easily fixable with like bronzer and stuff. I can't fix like this reddish hue that's going on here.
A little bit of yellow would cancel out red. Yellow cancels out redness. So even a tap again over the top of that red would be perfect. It's a smallest amount with a stipple brush, or even a powder brush would be great, because it applies less pressure because the bristles are so long. You don't get as much pressure. So a tiny bit of that yellow. There's a few tricks you can do that work incredibly well to kind of fix this lack of shade range. Yeah, and make it work.
I'm literally gonna wipe this off. I'm just gonna cover my whole face with Warm Dusk. So I'm gonna continue to blend this out, and we're gonna see what this looks like with the rest of my typical makeup. Which means next up is concealer. I'm going to take my Too Faced concealer in the color Mocha. In the meantime, let me quickly do my eyebrows.
So listen, I'm all down for people wearing whatever they want to. And again, this is from my point of view. If she was my client, she has great under eyes. This concealer is a little bit excessive. And it is nowhere near the amount of excessive we see from beauty YouTubers. So I know I'm familiar with her makeup routine, I'll be honest, because I watch her do it all the time and it always turns out amazing. But I would take, like, you see, just I'll circle it, just that area there, and blend that out. That would be cute. And even that can blend out enough to highlight. Yeah.
My city is also going into another lockdown, so that's fun. So that means my poor eyebrows.
So I love the way she does her eyebrows. This is what I talk about when I talk about fading in your eyebrows. She has a great structured eyebrow anyway, and I get kind of jealous. My eyebrows are so, thick is the wrong word because thick eyebrows are nice. Mine are dense. They're like slug, whereas Darcy has these really nice, you can see every hair, you can see every kind of stroke. I love that. I think that's amazing. And what she's done with a pencil, sorry, I sank in my eye. And what she's done with a pencil is she hasn't shaded the whole thing in. It's stroke by stroke, line by line, which gives you a really, really nice, natural but full brow. That looks amazing. And the fade in, you can still add colour to the front of your brow, on product to the front of your brow. It doesn't have to block. It just has this really nice fade in. I think that's amazing.
But you know what's crazy to me? Because we're having a lockdown during the holidays, that means that, like,
I just realised something. Let me just tell you something. You see how she's left this concealer on the skin? You know what? Try this. If you bake, right? I hate baking. And there's many reasons why. Every time I mention baking, I see like a person who's maybe hasn't seen my videos before say, why do you hate baking? Go back and see. If you struggle with your foundation or concealer, maybe doesn't sit long enough on your skin. I mean, you can bake remember, I'm not telling you what to do. just my opinion. If your concealer doesn't last long enough, products that you leave for longer on the skin warm to body temperature. They become thicker. They become more malleable, and easier to use. This might be a good trick for you. Leave your concealer on in the areas where you think you need more coverage, including under the eyes as well, and let it sit. Do your brows, do something else, and then blend it in. And just see if that lasts a little bit longer for you. Yeah, because we have a lot of concealers nowadays that are very hydrating, and they're great. I love hydrating concealer, but sometimes we need that thickness and we need that.
Oh my god, I just remembered that Patrick Starrr sent me his new powders. I'll be right back. Oh my god, Patrick, this is too much. It's too much. The ultimate setting powder. He sent me the translucent one and the dark deep one. I think I'm just gonna use the translucent one today. Yeah, it's looking really good. Obviously, it helps that I have very good skin. Like, I acknowledge this. Where's my mirror? There you are. One thing about me, though, is that I may not have textured skin, but I do have hairy skin. That sounds disgusting, and it is. I feel like, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but I feel like it is.
Okay, hairy skin. Let's talk about hairy skin. So that can be peach fuzz on people. Sometimes it can just be hair, Beauty blenders, and buffing motions and sponges, pads, make it more obvious because you're lifting the hair. You want an old-fashioned makeup foundation brush. Where is one? I don't have any. I do. Where is it? You know what I mean. Flat brush. And in those areas where you do have the hair, brush with the hair. Not that I'll be trying to cover my beard, but imagine I would brush with the hair strokes. If you're going backwards and forwards, you're lifting the hair up at the root and making it more obvious. So if you're the kind of person who applies foundation and you can see kind of like it on hair around these areas here, or even around the mouth, go with it, almost like you're pushing it down. So check your jawlines.
Okay, so we're gonna crack this bad boy open. This is the One Size translucent powder, brand new from Patrick Starrr. I'm not gonna use a lot because I don't want it to cover up the dewiness.
I do worry about powdering this slightly because she says she doesn't want to cover up like the like shiny look on the skin, because to me it still looks like it needs a little bit of warmth back in there. So I've never tried the Patrick Starrr powders. They don't interest me, if I'm honest. I'm worried that it's going to kind of wash it out a little bit. We'll see what happens.
I do want to set my under eyes and my eyelids. My eyelids are already like completely creased, and my nose, because those are my problem areas. I feel like that's most people's problem areas.
You guys know I hate baking. I feel like a nice brush of powder would be really, really nice on her. Just like, and done. She's very smooth under eyes, very smooth, she doesn't like me, she doesn't have like these dips in here like I have. I think it'll be just a little bit of powder.
Alone. But I'm trying to leave most of my face alone and I'm not applying that much powder. Okay, this is the first time I'm using this powder and it's amazing. It's really nice. I definitely covered up more of the cushion than I intended to, but this looks so good.
I'll give credit where credit's due, it does look smooth.
So I'm just gonna take my Dry Bouquet palette from 3CE. Need a soft, delicate makeup look to go with this soft, delicate cushion. I don't know. I want to blend my eyeshadow with my beauty blender. Is that a thing? Do people do that? We're doing it. Girl, what is that? That is, I don't know what that is. It's too much though. It's a lot. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. We're fine. We're a little sultry today. It's good. It's good. It's good to be sultry, a little sexy. It's fine.
Yeah, you know what I think will be what I think will be really nice. I like the way she does her eye makeup. It's really it always looks really great. It always ends up looking really great. She does take it down quite a bit here, which I like if you're gonna make it a thing underneath here. So I feel like every colour she does with her blending brush. Let me show you. Let me grab a what's it called? Eyeshadow. So when she does her eyeshadow, she kind of does this motion. So she'll take it through here at an equal depth both sides. So it's just as thick here as it is here. Which isn't a bad thing. It's quite nice to incorporate into a brow. And then she takes it down slightly here. So when I'm doing eye makeup and I'm winging out an eye, I always try to make sure that the bottom line here, nothing I'm blending here outwards passes this like invisible line if we're going to go out. Unless it can be followed up with like a brush that has more like a detailing brush or like a smaller, what is this brush called? Like a smaller shading brush. And then connecting this to under the eye. So now we're creating like a new wing almost. Because sometimes oh, that's a bit too much. If you leave this whole area here without connecting it, it can kind of make the eyes seem to droop a little bit. And you can blend that out, or you can like, I don't know, like fix it up with concealer if you want to. And then I would build up that corner with a little bit more of that darker brown. Still following that shape that you made before. And then take that right across to the inside here because we're kind of like elongating that eye shape now. So she could do a really cool winged out look because she has all that space.
My goodness, my skin looks amazing. Thanks, Michelle Phan. And Patrick Starrr, because that powder was immaculate. All right, I'm taking out some brand new lashes. Honestly, I'm too lazy to clean my lashes, so I just keep buying new ones because there's nothing like a brand new lash.
Mascara on false lashes. Here's what I personally like to do when I'm applying false lashes on myself or a client. I need to take this off, it's really distracting me. Because I'm just gonna keep looking at it and trying to perfect it. I can't leave makeup on my face and do nothing about it. Okay. I just went over it with foundation, so sorry about that. It might look a little bit dusty. Mascara and false lashes. So I think about it this way. You choose a false lash because of its shape and its definition and its the way it looks. Basically, you choose a mascara wand. Well, mascara wands, some people don't. Some people just choose whatever mascara. But mascara wands have a purpose. They do particular things to your lashes. They thicken them, they lengthen them, they clump them together, they push them apart. So whatever your mascara does to your natural lashes is what it's going to do to your false lashes. Therefore, changing the shape of a false lash that you chose because you liked that shape. I hope that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I'm not that great at explaining things. So I like to do mascara first before false lashes. And for me, it's like a glue for the false lashes. So I don't mean like the adhesive you put on the rib. I mean when it comes to squeezing your natural lashes and the mascara together. Don't care what mascara I use under false lashes. Just want to get it on there so I can kind of glue your natural lashes to your false lashes. So there's no... You don't get this, you know?
We're gonna go in with our Kylie contour stick.
She has the kind of face that I would really enjoy contouring. There's something about contouring someone's face and seeing a very slight transformation that is just really fun. So where she's applied this contour on the cheek is great. Love that. And I would go a little bit more on the temples here. You see how her cheek goes up? And I always think people always ignore their hairline when they're contouring. Play with your hairline when you're contouring. Don't play with, you can't move it around, but take that into consideration as well. Take a look at the way her hairline it's almost like her cheek goes up and then into that hairline, and we get this really nice, like, swooped shape. I would contour, I'll have to draw it on the screen. I would take the cheek contour around that part of the hairline, then from the temple, take the contour up this way, and that will give such a nice, like, structure to her face. She has nice cheeks, and actually where she applied her blush, I'm like, oh, don't do the cheeks, but it kind of evens itself out, if that makes sense. It adds a little bit of fullness to the cheeks, and then when she contours, it adds a little bit of fullness there.
Like, I really like that I did not have to use a primer. Even though I love my primer, it's just one less step, you know? And once I, like, put on my blush and my bronzer and everything, like, you cannot tell that the cushion was a tad too light for me at all.
Yeah, she's so right. That now she's added, like, warmth, like that warmth of a blush and this contour. It actually looks great on her skin.
And I'm just gonna get lighter as the season goes on, so. I really like this cushion. Our neutral brown lip, like we always do. What is this? This is chestnut liner. I go back and forth between my chestnut liner and another brown liner from Morphe. So I'm like, which one is this? I don't know. I just pick up a random brown pencil and I don't know what it is. Then I'm gonna go in with this lipstick from Rare Beauty. I love the Rare Beauty lipsticks. They're so nice. This one is called Thrilling. This one is like my favorite color out of all of them. It's so, look at that, like chocolatey richness. Selena! I'm telling y'all, all these beauty brands better watch out for Selena, because she's coming for you. And then I'm gonna go over that with Do You Boo from Kylie Cosmetics. So this is like my fresh, like everyday kind of look.
You know what I think would be really great for Darcy to do is she has this really cute like lip shape where it kind of like, you can see what I mean, it kind of swoops up inside here. Really, really cute. It would be really nice to define that. Not by like overdrawing or doing anything like that, but do her lips exactly how she just did then, but now follow up again with the chestnut pencil and really define those outside edges so we get like a really crisp lip. And then just, you can even, so it's not like a solid line, you can blend it very gently, like around the inside edges with a, just any kind of brush really. Like a small pencil brush, I would do that with. Do I have one? Where are all my brushes? Like something like this, like a small fluffy brush, I would just take very gently and just like blend it. Because it's such a cute lip shape, it'll be nice to define that even more. Okay, let's stop that there. So that was nice, huh? As I mentioned before, she is a regular in my household. We watch her all the time. So it's kind of nice to kind of sit and, this is the thing, although I do these videos and although it's makeup artistry is a job for me, when I'm watching videos like this, I don't sit there and be like, this could be this and this could be this. Sometimes, it depends who it is. But I don't do that. So it was nice to kind of sit then and look and kind of talk through what she was doing. I think she does a really good job. She's just very entertaining to watch as well. I'm a big fan of hers. And also, you know what? The powder that she used doesn't actually look that bad under the eye now. It looks fresh. Maybe it's a foundation underneath, kind of giving it, because the foundation does claim to be a primer, a foundation, and a SPF as well. Would I choose to put powder on her like that? No, I think she has great skin. Perhaps it doesn't last so long on her. I would love to know actually if she puts powder on under her eyes like that just because, or to smooth, or what the situation is. Yeah, she's great. One thing talking about the skin tones and the choice of tone she had to use there. Although I mentioned earlier it's like a product like a BB cream where one shade can suit technically 3 at a push, 4 at a push skin tones. It's still not that much of a huge choice for her to choose from, so she's done extremely well with what she had to choose from. And I think that's the case with most black people or people of colour who wear makeup in general. Would have had to experiment more with makeup to get like these perfect tones and to get these perfect color matches, because although we're kind of now in a time where brands are doing better with shade ranges, they come out with, you know, more than 10, it's still not 100% there, you know. We can still be a lot better. And Darcy is somebody who clearly knows her skin tone. She knew how this shade was going to end up after all her after the whole application process. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I hope you did too, and I hope you learned something from there. I always feel like as makeup artists or a makeup enthusiast or just people who are interested in stuff, we can always keep learning. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll leave a link below to Darcy's original video so you can go ahead and check that out. If there's anyone you want me to react to, go ahead and leave it below for me. I will try and do that for you. Thanks again. I will see you on Sunday. Bye.